Hey everybody, in this episode of The Gay Bear, I'm going to be responding to all of your questions that you left in the comments section of last week's video. However, before I commence, I shall say to you all, Hairy Berry Christmas! Hope you all had a fantastic Christmas and you didn't all eat too much yesterday. So, last year I did exactly this. But last year I felt like I spoke too much in response to my questions. So this year I'm going to try and keep my answers down to between a minute and a minute and a half. So yeah, without any further delay, let's get on with it. So my first question comes from Wayward Fascination, who asks me, what are your thoughts on the negative side effects of PrEP? Have you had any? Do you take PrEP? Yeah, and what's my opinion on PrEP? So basically, my opinion on PrEP is this. I do take PrEP, but I don't take it every day. I only take it when I need it, and I've been given sort of strict instructions by my doctor of when I should start taking it and when I should stop taking it after I have been sexually active. Yeah. But I will say the negative side effect that I've had two. One is psychological and the other one is physical. So physically, it makes my stomach a bit upset, a bit out of sorts. My poops are not as they normally would be. And that's sort of its effect on my body. I do go and get tested and checked over every 3 months. I think it's every 3 months. So they tell me how my kidneys and liver and everything are doing. So yeah, I'm sort of closely monitored by my doctor while I do PrEP. However, I will say I had a psychological side effect of doing PrEP, and that was a bout of irresponsibility. Irresponsibility? Yeah, irresponsibility. Where on the first 1 or 2 months I just went crazy and went off on lots of sexual adventures. Where I threw caution and responsibility out the window. For example, I went to a gay sauna in Lisbon where I had unsafe sex with I think it was 7 different men in one night. One, a really hot guy from France, a Brazilian couple. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and list them. However, I didn't use a condom at all. And I was really, really lucky to not get anything that burned, itched, stung, pussed or oozed or creeped or crawled. I was a lucky bunny while I did that, and it's actually something that I regret doing, so I wouldn't do that now. There you go. So yeah, that's my side effects of PrEP was a sense of irresponsibility, which I think was basically just me spending years and years of being scared of catching HIV, and then that sort of being over, and then me just being like, yeah, and then me sort of realizing 2-3 months in and going, I can still catch everything else. So yeah, but physically, it gives me bad tummy, but other than that, it's good. Okay, my next question comes from Lars Colson, and he asks, since your last AMA, ask me anything, what is making you the happiest? I need to go get that. One moment. Okay. Hi, so back again. Everybody, this is Runty. Runty Punty. Hello, Runty Punty. I found Runty in the street. She was sick, weren't you? You were sick. And I picked her up and I brought her home. And I took her to the vet and I got her the antibiotics that she needed. And she was like the smallest one in the litter and kind of neglected. All the other cats were healthy and she was sick. So yeah, picked her up, brought her home, took her to the vet, got her antibiotics, and I take care of her. So this is what has made me happiest since my last AMA. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, there you go. Runty, this is everybody. Everybody, this is Runty. Oh. My name's Runty Bunty. Okay, my next question comes from Deloitte. Deloitte A23. No, that's not a D, that's an at. My next question comes from Lloyd A23, who asks, are you jealous? How do you feel about an open relationship? Is that a proposition, Lloyd? How do you feel about an open relationship? Well, Lloyd, maybe. Okay, how do I feel about an open relationship and am I jealous? So, no, not a jealous person. And it comes down to my life experiences. So I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous at all. I've got to the point of where I don't care. It's a long story, but I'll try and make it short. When I was 25, I was dating this guy who came from a faraway land, and he was tall and handsome and had dark skin, and I adored him. Absolutely adored him. Like, he was the most determined, talented, beautiful guy I'd ever met, and I was so proud to have him as my boyfriend. I told everyone that he was my boyfriend. Like, I literally was like, this guy's my boyfriend. I can't believe it. And I adored the guy, and I did everything I possibly could to be a good boyfriend. I picked him up from work, I sent him messages all the time, I did everything that you would expect you're a good boyfriend to do. We went out to dinner, like everything. And then I found out that he'd been lying to me, cheating on me, and had just generally been a dishonest scumbag. And I will say, like, when we broke up, he refused to say sorry for anything that he did, because he said it made no difference. It wouldn't change the past. But then on my 30th birthday, we bumped into each other in a nightclub, and the first thing he did was sit me down outside and then just apologize for it. Just came out of his mouth like word vomit. He just apologized for everything. The cheating, the lying, and I got the standard, you were the nicest guy I ever met, I can't believe, blah, blah, blah. But the lesson I learned from that is, even someone who you love intently more than anything else in the world can still treat you like crap and still lie and cheat and whatever. So I got to the point now of where I will still try to be a loving, caring, supportive boyfriend, and I will still do my best to be the best boyfriend that I can be. But if you're going to cheat on me, just, you're going to cheat on me anyway. And with regards to open relationships, I'd rather have an open relationship, because then it's like you can go. It's like putting someone in a box, in my opinion. You put someone in a box, and then you're like, you can't go off and see anybody else. And even though that works in an idyllic world, I mean, my parents have been together since 1975, and they're still together now, but that's the exception to the rule. So yeah, what I found, honestly, is that if I say to a guy, you can go off and have fun and do whatever you want, they generally don't. But if I say to them, you can't, that's what they want to do. So yeah, that's my opinion, is basically not a jealous person, go off and do what you want. And I can do the same. And I generally find that they don't. Wow, that's a long answer to that question. Sorry. Okay, next question. What's your stage name for your appearance? Roman Osso. That's nice. So obviously, if you people don't know, watching this video, that I've recently started doing PORN, GAY space PORN, Roman Osso. And you can find me at romanosso.com. That's ROMANOSO.com. And that's the links to all of my stuff. Sexy. My next question comes from Dada Boom Dada Bang, who would like to know, it says, I love music and films and would like to know, what music do you like that gets you in the mood to dance? So he also later asks about my favourite film. So my favourite film is Fight Club. Not for the fighting, but more for the message of anti-consumerism, because the main character, whose name is Jack, that nobody seems to know that, but the main character in the book, his name is Jack. He lives in a corporate world where he has this corporate job and lives in a 1-bedroom apartment in the middle of a city, and all of his furniture comes out of a catalogue, and he's corporate boy. And then he loses it all and then finds himself and becomes happy. And the guy who taught me Spanish, I taught him English, he taught me Spanish. We did a language exchange. We were both really similar, and we both joked about moving up to the top of a mountain or halfway up a mountain and just growing food and just living in nature. And that still really appeals to me. I know a family that live in they sold their house and they quit their corporate jobs and they moved to a house at the bottom of a valley. It's like something out of a storybook. You like walk down this, you drive down this pathway for like a mile, going down and down. You come to the bottom of this valley, and there's like this house with like a smoking chimney, and they've got like ducks and chickens, and they grow all their own food, or not all of their own food, but large amount of their own food. They have no television, they have no internet, they have no mobile phone. They have one mobile phone. It's an old Nokia. But the kids are completely disconnected from sort of modern society, and they act like kids. They draw pictures, they play board games, they use their imagination. They like build stuff, they'll play with like a windy house and dolls, and they use their imagination with like different situations. Like, I'm a princess, you're a wizard, you know. And I sit there and I watch it, and I'm like, this is what being a kid used to be like. Not now, where you just see kids just staring at their phone. So yeah, I really liked in Fight Club the anti-consumerist message that Fight Club gave, of like, you actually don't need anything apart from food, family, warmth, and like the basic necessities of life. So I really like that. What food gets me in the mood to dance? What food gets me in the mood to dance? Porridge. What music gets me in the mood to dance? Probably the same music that I listened to back in the late 90s, early noughties, when I actually was going out clubbing. D-Light, Groove is in the Heart. The Freemasons always makes me boogie. I love the Eurythmics. I'm an 80s child, so I grew up with like electronic 80s music. So yeah, like Gary Newman's Cars. I love the Eurythmics. Gosh. Very little music in the 90s, because I didn't like a lot of music in the 90s, but the 80s for sure. Yeah, and then just sort of like funky, uplifting house from like the early 2000s. Yeah, and my divas, every gay man has a diva, and I think my one's Donna Summer, because I still love Donna Summer, God rest her soul. So yeah, that's what gets me up to dance. 1980s music, Donna Summer, and sort of early 2000 funky uplifting house like the Freemasons. Okay, and my last question comes from Rich Richardson 7444, who asks, in your opinion, what is your perfect night out in town with your favourite bloke? So back in the day, in my 20s and my 30s, I probably would have gone out to a nightclub in London like Heaven or XXL, and then danced until the early hours of the morning, and then gone home either with my bloke or with someone else and my bloke. That's fairly accurate. Yeah, and had a lovely bit of made ourselves a group event. However, these days I'm not quite as adventurous. Oh no, saying that, I do go out. Okay, yeah, so these days I'm more likely to go out for food, go out to a show, go back to a hotel, get some sleep, and then maybe go out to the sauna. And then go out to breakfast, and then giggle about what we did and what we saw. It'd just be like, I saw you do that. Hee! Oh, you saw me do this. Hee! And then, yeah, giggle about it. So yeah, that's kind of my perfect night out. I mean, if it was a serious relationship with my Favourite bloke, then I would be dinner, show, sleep. But if it's just, going out and having fun, then I'd probably end up at a sauna. I'm afraid my nights of going out, reaching for the lasers and dancing till 10 a.m. or 2 p.m. the next day, they're gone. I can't do that anymore. My body would go, no, and it would just fail. So there you go. Hey, thanks for watching my video all the way to the end. Up on your screen right now is the second part to this video. I saved the 3 best questions for last. These were the 3 most complex and difficult questions to answer. However, they were also the most interesting.